हेलो दोस्तों, मेरे चैनल में आपका फिर से स्वागत है। हम लोग आज एक बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट के साथ है जो अपने चैनल पे पहले भी आ चुके हैं। इनका नाम है चिराग चोपड़ा। तो सबसे पहले मैं वेलकम करता हूँ चिराग को। चिराग, हेलो, एंड एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन हो जाए आपका।
Hi Nikhil, good to be back. It's been a long time, or I think is bar it's because of a good news. We've been working on a game, so we thought, why not reach out to India's biggest game dev YouTuber, right? And so for those who are watching me for the first time, I own a studio called Lucid Labs, indie game studio. हम लोग from the past 7 years we've been making indie games, mostly experimental, casual, with a little bit of story, light-hearted storytelling. इससे पहले we made Possessions, which was exclusive to Apple Arcade. It was exclusive for 4 years on Apple Arcade, and now in the meantime we were working on a new title जिसका नाम है Bloom, a puzzle adventure. We just launched it 2 weeks ago, and it's a casual puzzle, but the twist is this time we wanted to do something different, kuch alag. Like as a studio we wanted to grow, so we shipped an in-game level maker. Isme people can like make their own levels, ya to jo levels dusre bana rahe hain wo khele, and so on. So that's the game that we've just shipped.
Wow, fantastic. So you are also having user generated content inside the game, right?
Exactly, yeah,
Fantastic.
exactly.
Chirag, all the games that I have played that are made by you have these unique ideas. So my question is, how do you come up with ideas? What is your process?
The process is very simple. It's mostly like what comes out is like result of 10-12 prototypes के बाद we keep making smaller ideas as a team. कुछ paper पे, the ones which are appealing on paper, we take them to Unity, create a prototype, or a prototype में जो looks interesting, then we try to build, evolve it as a version. So Bloom is a result of that. इससे पहले we focused on experimentation as a team to try and see कि क्या कर सकते हैं अगला, किस टाइप का genre, किस टाइप का game. And we thought puzzle is something we know best, right? We've been doing a lot of puzzle games. So why not इस बार we do something where people can make their own puzzles within the game and make it so simple that जिसको पता भी नहीं level क्या होता है, क्या level बनाना, even they can make their own levels and express themselves.
फैंटास्टिक। सो हेल्प मी अंडरस्टैंड। एक गेम बनाना एक बात होती है, बट लोगों को एनेबल करना कि वो उनके एंड पे एक गेम बना सकते हैं, वो एक अलग ही थॉट प्रोसेस रहता है। सो व्हाट हैज बीन द डेवलपमेंट जर्नी? व्हाट वर योर थॉट प्रोसेसेस जब आप कंसेप्चुलाइज कर रहे थे? उस टाइम पे ये सोचा था कि लेवल एडिटर बना के ही गेम शिप करना है, और वाज दिस समथिंग दैट यू कंसेप्चुलाइज्ड व्हाइल यू आर डेवलपिंग दिस गेम?
Good question. Actually, जब बन रहा था तब what we had in mind was uh, internally we made a tool जिसमें level बनाना easy हो for the team. Just to it's a grid based puzzle, and उस time पे we were thinking कि ये tool, like we've made a tool which is so easy, and we've always wanted to experiment with UGC. So we thought as a player, since हम लोग ही ये use कर रहे हैं अपना खुद का ही level maker, why not ship it to the players and also build it in a way कि it's ultra easy for even game developers जो नहीं है वो भी ये बना पाए. And that was the thought process. So शुरू में ही काफी idea आ गया था, like we wanted to do something around it, but because team was also using this as an internal tool to make levels, we thought it's good enough to put it out.
Fantastic. We've all heard the phrase bug becomes a feature, but now we are also making a statement wherein the tool becomes a feature, right? So,
Exactly.
so that's very interesting. And, overall, in the development journey, how has the development of Bloom different from all the previous titles you have made? Like, how is it different from Possessions? How is it different from the first few games that you put out?
और टू बी ऑनेस्ट, लाइक इस बार तो हालत खराब हो गई हमारी, क्योंकि द गेम्स इससे पहले जो हमने बनाया, इट हैज बीन दे हैव बीन वेरी क्लोज्ड एक्सपीरियंस, लाइक अ लीनियर एक्सपीरियंस जहाँ पे ठीक है एक गेम है, यू प्ले अ फ्यू लेवल्स, यू आर डन विद इट, हो गया, ठीक है, यू आर डन. दिस टाइम बिकॉज ऑफ द नेटवर्क लेयर बिहाइंड इट, people are able to make their levels, save their levels, upward, downward. So we've created a whole community inside the game, जिसमें you also have trending stuff, you deal with upvotes, you deal with saving, uploading, and so on. तो वो सब figure out करने में, how the backend works, how people actually create stuff, how do we sync everything in real time, उसमें it has been hell. So, and that's where most of the time went actually, to figure out how do we enable this so that player के लिए it should be as simple as मैंने को level बनाना है, मैंने बनाया, done, that's it. And how do we make it in the background so simple and so intuitive? So that's been a major challenge this time, the whole network layer around it and the whole UGC element around it.
तो गाइज एक यहाँ पे कॉल टू एक्शन दे देता हूँ। ब्लूम की जो लिंक है वो आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगी, जाइए अभी के अभी डाउनलोड कीजिए और रेटिंग दे दीजिए, अच्छी खासी रेटिंग दे दीजिएगा प्लीज। चिराग अपने दोस्त है, वरना वो मेरे को बैकएंड में आके मारेंगे, बोलेंगे कि यार ये क्या ऑडियंस सबको गाली दे रही है। तो अच्छी रेटिंग देना, ठीक है, एंड खेलना। एंड आई होप आपको ये गेम खेल के गेम डेवलपर बनने के लिए इंस्पिरेशन मिले। विच ब्रिंग्स मी टू माई नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, चिराग, व्हाट हैज बीन योर इंस्पिरेशन टू बिकम अ गेम डेवलपर?
It's always been the fact that I've thought ki, like when I started, my intention was to when I used to play games and obviously see people play games. So the intention was ki like this would be a good way to make it a career jahan pe I can bring joy to people by my games, entertain the world basically in a short way, and basically express myself in a way jahan pe people are also having fun or I am also having fun creating games that I want to make and I want to play. So that was the original thought, like this is one of the coolest jobs and also one of the biggest responsibilities jahan pe you are entertaining the world, right? But it all becomes, it's all worth it when you see people playing your game and they are having fun. So wo jo ek feeling aata hai and you that validation that you get कि someone's enjoying my game, that has been a major intention. And of course, like the idea to become a millionaire one day, that's also like the second intention.
दैट्स अमेजिंग। सो चिराग, अब तक हम लोग बहुत खुश होते थे कि यार हम लोग के गेम के 1 मिलियन डाउनलोड हो गए, 10 मिलियन डाउनलोड हो गए। बट रिसेंट टाइम्स में 12 सितंबर को एक ऐसी न्यूज आई मार्केट में यूनिटी गेम इंजन के रिलेटेड कि वो उसने पूरी डेवलपर कम्युनिटी को शॉक कर दिया, विच वाज द यूनिटी रन टाइम फी। तो चिराग, वुड यू लाइक टू कमेंट ऑन दैट कि आपका क्या प्रोसेस रहा है? बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट आपके बहुत सारे गेम्स, इनफैक्ट सारे गेम्स यूनिटी में बने हैं। So, what
Right.
are your stance as an industry leader in the space? About this recent news about Unity.
नहीं, इट्स सिंपल। सो वी आर डिलीटिंग द गेम December 31st को, ताकि उसके बाद कोई डाउनलोड ही नहीं कर पाएगा। तो लाइक वी आर सेफ। But yeah, like on a serious note, abhi like what we are hoping for, like everyone else, कि Unity will in a way reverse it, right? क्योंकि it's so complex, Unity को खुद भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा, like every day there's a new statement, ये होगा, वो होगा, ऐसा होगा, and I don't think like even legally this is something that's enforceable, right? Like the retroactive kind of licensing and purchasing. At this point, we are only hoping for कि किसी तरह Unity में थोड़ा सा someone put some kind of brain into them and they reverse this action. Otherwise, yeah, it will be something that we'll need to consider in the next year.
Absolutely. I mean, this was actually a huge shocker for the overall industry because nobody saw it coming, right? And it's unfortunate if they do enforce this rule. But yeah, everyone fingers crossed कि ये decision ना ले Unity. So a lot of things are happening in the background for that as well. But what would
Unreal वाले safe हैं बस, which is why I see you happy.
that is the reason why, मतलब, best decision ever. But anyway, what are your personal favorite alternative game engines? Have you experimented or done any sort of research?
Not a lot to be honest. So mostly हम लोग like I personally use a lot of Construct 3 and Buildbox, which is mostly for prototyping, just to get my ideas running and before like team पूरी उस पे jump करे. So these two engines I've always been using. Construct 2 था पहले, फिर Construct 3 पे मैं आया, and Buildbox is also something. Buildbox 3, it's a good quick engine to just test your ideas, experiment with mechanics and so on. उसके अलावा as a standalone engine, not yet. Like we've tried to see how Godot and like the others work, but कभी ऐसा सोचा नहीं था कि एक दिन आएगा कि हाँ अब तो करना ही, यूनिटी छोड़ना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, I mean, we are all very spoiled with Unity back from, I started in 2013 or so. I think you also started around that time, right?
Yeah.
से लेके अब तक we have actually grown with Unity. But anyway, we gotta do what we gotta do. So, Chirag, what I also like about your process is that you do not have an office. You operate completely remotely and you work with teams, right? I know we have talked about this in the past as well in one of your interview. Guys, if you want, you can check out that interview as well. वो भी काफी exciting था. I'll leave the description for that too. But summing it up, what has actually changed and what have you kind of improvised on over the years in your existing workflow?
I think over the years, एक जो problem we figured out, which is like something every studio should figure out early on, is जब आप बहुत सारे games बना रहे हो, like you're coming up with new games every 1 year, every 2 years, what most of people don't realize कि mostly like I'm not, this is something we did, so I don't know about others. They might be doing something better, obviously. हम लोग like we always used to start from scratch, like everything. Every project was some, felt like कि दोबारा सब कुछ setup हो रहा है, सारे character controls दोबारा बन रहे हैं, UI दोबारा setup हो रहा है. And we realized कि most of the times we end up creating something similar क्योंकि we make 2D puzzle games, or mostly like Possessions was 3D puzzle only. So what we realized after Possessions is, in terms of growing the studio and in terms of achieving something, good in terms of scale, we really have to channelize and create workflows and pipelines jahan pe it should be easy enough for us to set up a new project, deploy a new project, test a new project. So in terms of coming from Possessions to Bloom, this is something in the studio internally we've done. We've created a lot of processes, created a lot of pipelines for existing members, ताकि कोई नया भी आए, they know कि हाँ, how do we work, instead of doing calls with them. Obviously there are calls all the time, but as a studio, we've created these workflows and pipelines. Just may we don't have to start from scratch with every new game, and that's what helped us with Bloom to achieve these bigger things in ambition, in scope, basically.
Fantastic. And now that we are talking about on this topic, what is your like, as you mentioned, you have actually created tons of assets over the years, right? At the end of the day, for a gamer, what matters is this game fun to play or not, right? At the Baki, you use your own assets, you buy marketplace assets or whatever, it does not matter. So what is your opinion on someone who is a new developer and they want to save time? Is it good to buy assets, or should they make everything from scratch, or is it a mix of both?
I strongly advocate for, like, if there's something already in the market that's doing the job for you and doing at a scale जहां आपको पहुंचने में देर लगेगी, why waste time in creating something that has been created and evolved already over the years, right? By people working on that, like, as their goal. For a game, like you mentioned, player को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि ये एसेट कहाँ से आया, ये कोड किसने लिखा है, right? ये let's say ये system किसने बनाया था. For the player, they all care about the end product, right? So
And
for
they
you,
also
mostly,
they also don't care which engine you used.
exactly. So as long as you don't show the boot screen, like Splash में उनको नहीं दिखता made with Unity, Unreal, they'll never know and they'll never care, to be honest, right? So which is why as an indie, it's very important you save time and you utilize it where it's like absolutely necessary, instead of reinventing the wheel every time you go. Because, like, to be honest, like, if you're working on a platformer game, chances are someone has already perfected the platformer character controller, right? If you try to do it, of course, it will be a good experience. You'll probably do it. But फिर जो time 6 महीने lets you spend on creating that versus spending 6 months on something else, that's where the value comes in. So you have to be really efficient with क्या already existing better चीज है मेरे पास और क्या मुझे बनाना चाहिए. Simple as that.
Also, Chirag, last we met, I came to Delhi for the IGDA event, which was beautifully organized. So, kudos to you on that. Like this,
Thank you so much.
we have some bigger events as well. But can you highlight some smaller events that are hosted on, say, a local level that people can go and be a part of, and any other events that you are hosting, perhaps that people can come and be a part of?
So in I can only talk about Delhi. Mostly we do stuff around Delhi where, like, we try every 3 months to have some kind of meetup jahan pe we meet and people showcase their stuff. People also, in a way, like we did last time, we invited you to do a micro talk, like 5 minute, 10 minute sessions, just to share some insights. So every 3 months we try to do a meetup locally where we get, like, it's all free for everyone. People come, people showcase what they're working on, collect feedback and all. Apart from that, on the Game Dev in Discord, we also have these casual hangouts, coffee house, every Wednesday at 10 p.m., which is like a virtual event jahan pe the agenda is like there's no agenda. We just come, chill, talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether it's game dev ya kuch bhi, and just spend a few hours with other like-minded people, and that's all. So Delhi may we try to do offline meetups, and via game dev we do these virtual setups.
सो ये जो इवेंट्स वगैरह होते हैं, इनकी इन्फॉर्मेशन कहाँ से मिलेगी जनरल पब्लिक को, जो भी यहाँ पे ऑडियंस देख रही है, उनको इन्फॉर्मेशन कहाँ से मिल सकती है ये सब?
So we have a Discord for the Delhi game dev people, which is the IGA Delhi. We also have a WhatsApp group, which is around 300 people for game dev related people in Delhi and Gurgaon. Those are the best places jahan pe you'll get to know about new events, new kind of, keynotes and stuff like that.
फैंटास्टिक. सो इफ यू कुड पास ऑन दोस लिंक्स, मैं वो डिस्क्रिप्शन में वो भी मेंशन कर दूंगा, ठीक है?
Absolutely, absolutely.
तो दोस्तों, अगर आप दिल्ली वाले एरिया से हो, गुड़गांव एरिया से हो या नोएडा से हो, तो फिर ये सारी लिंक्स आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगी. और अगर दिल्ली से नहीं हो तो मुंबई वगैरह जो भी होगा वो भी आपको चिराग कुछ कर देंगे आगे जाके. बट चिराग,
दिल्ली से नहीं हो तो दिल्ली आ जाओ.
हाँ, जैसे मैं आया था लास्ट.
Yeah, right.
So, Chirag, it's been a wonderful journey, and you've been in this space for what, 10 odd years now?
9 years.
9 years, almost. अभी next year आपका 10 होगा. So,
हो
what has
जाएगा, right.
overall learnings over the last few years? Like क्या चीजें, like when you started off, ऐसा कुछ ambition होगा कि यार मैं ये achieve करूंगा, and where are you in that journey, and what is next for you?
I think in terms of like my personal journey, I can say that I've in a way matured enough to realize that the game dev business is not just about chasing the stars, but also making sure that you have the means to chase the star, right? पहले के like when we started doing this, I'm sure like just this is true for everyone that starts कि मैं ये बनाऊंगा, मैं वो बनाऊंगा, I want to do something very different. We hardly think about the financial like, aspect of it कि जो मैं बना रहा हूँ, is the market ready for it? Is the market receptive of it? So over the years, like most of the ideas, we've tried to, do a combination of both. जहाँ पे we can chase our stars, whatever games we want to make, but also keep the financial aspect in mind to keep the story afloat, which is why Bloom is like a major step forward for us. Bloom se pehle we only did premium games, hardcore premium games. You could only, pay for it upfront. Bloom is like our way of doing freemium, where there are no annoying ads, no annoying power-ups and stuff. It's still a chill down experience, but yes, we have adapted to the freemium model, जहाँ पे people who don't want to pay, even they can play. People who like the game enough to pay, so they have the option to pay. That's it.
Fantastic. And how has this experience panned out from the community? I'm pretty sure moving from a premium to a freemium model must have seen a huge surge in terms of users and that initial barrier to entry, right? So, how has the community responded to us, and what has been your learnings in a premium versus a freemium market scenario?
So, like premium in terms of if you think about the market, premium unless it's a big franchise, yeah, if it's a franchise, it's a title supported by a big publisher. It's very hard to scale premium in the current scenario. People like are like not as receptive of a premium game as they were 5 years ago, which is why like we had to think about removing that barrier. And of course, with the free game comes like there are own perks. We get more users, we get people who are not even interested in paying anything. We get to monetize them, we get to enjoy these featuring on app stores, game of the day, top banners, much better because game free hai, so what people do is like let's try, let's see kya hai game mein, right? So in that way it has allowed us to scale the user base a lot from premium game because of the free model, and also helped us realize ki kaise we can do freemium better, right? As Lucid Labs, what we bring to the table jahan pe hyper casual jaisa annoying na ho ki yaar ad hi ad aa ja rahe hain, game kab khelo. So it has been an interesting pivot.
And in terms of showcase now, where have you showcased this game? And IGDC is also coming around the block, right? So, will we be seeing a booth for Lucid Labs over there? And what is there something exciting exclusively built for IGDC? Something that you can highlight on?
Most probably, like because it's still a very small studio, right? Full time, we only have 3 members, and I wanna get a booth, but the fact is कि पूरे time booth पे रहना, then I get to miss everything, right? What's happening around, and because I'm also involved in IGDC as a organizer, as a crew, there are a lot of things I have to manage. So hopefully, like we are trying to get someone join IGDC as well, जहाँ पे we can showcase something in the booth. But for IGDC, we've also entered into the awards. Hopefully, we get to see some good response there, and I think hope for the best.
Fantastic, Chirag. As always, wonderful talking to you. Any parting words for the audience? Any plug for your game? Anything special or any Easter egg planted inside the game? Whatever, the stage is yours.
I would say like if you guys like puzzle games, yeah, if you like goofy stories with puzzle games, Bloom is the game for you, and it's totally free, so you don't have to spend any penny. All the levels, about 100 levels, you get to play for free. Uske baad, when you run out of levels, you get to make your own, or you get to play levels created by the community. And so far in these 2 weeks, we've already crossed 100 levels coming. created by the community, and so many great things to see around. And again, everything's free. So if you are a fan of puzzle games, or if you're a fan of casual puzzle games, Bloom is the title for you. And if you guys want to share any feedback, there could be suggestions, please reach out to me directly. I'll be answering everything, every email. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the response.
Fantastic. And guys, this interview is also completely free. Chirag has not paid me anything, right? So this is not at all a sponsored video. But in all honesty, just go ahead and try out this game, because I always believe that my channel is a community by itself. So we are a community that has been built over the last several years, and I'm very proud to say that अभी तक जितने भी interviews वगैरह हुए हैं, I have not charged for anything. Okay, चिराग ने बोला, मेरे को message किया, he reached out, and we are just here to support the community. So try out this game. This is not at all a sponsored post. If you like the game, just give an honest feedback. If you didn't like the game, reach out to Chirag and tell him why you didn't like the game. So with that in mind, guys, thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Chirag, for taking our time to do this interview. It was always a fun thing to do this, and I'm looking forward to your next game.
Absolutely. Thanks to you. I know how busy you are. So thanks to you for always making the room for, indies like us and supporting our games. Like, I think kudos to you for doing this. And I hope we get to do this again sometime in the future.
Let's do a small bite at IGDC.
Perfect. Let's do that.
All right. Okay, guys. Chalo, bye-bye.